Hey Seekers, and welcome to a new video. First of all, Happy New Year, and I know that I haven't been on this channel much. I posted like 3 videos like 5 months ago. And then I dropped it because I basically had lots of work. I went to France. I had lots of things going on, but I've decided to relaunch this channel with the new year, and I fixed a releasing schedule, and I'll be posting videos on Mondays and Fridays. And yeah, I guess we should just get going with this video. So today we're going to be doing the TBR for January. I'm going to start doing TBRs, wrap-ups and reading blogs every month, and this is my first one. So yeah, the first 3 books I was going to read this month were 3 that I had already started last month, actually one of them previously, but that I hadn't had the opportunity to finish. One of them is The Shining, which I started like 2 months ago, and I haven't had time to read it because when I started reading it, I was in France, I think. And a weird thing that has happened to me with Stephen King so far is that usually I get so invested in the story like the first days or even the first day, and I read so much, but then it gets to a point where I just stop reading. I don't know why, but I've decided I really want to finish this book this month as soon as possible, because I'm not even halfway through. I'm like 188 pages in, or 500 or so. This is probably going to be my priority for this week. Also, you probably know what The Shining is about, but if you don't know anything about it, it's the 3rd book published by Stephen King, and it's basically about this family that is like it's a family with problems basically that go to this hotel in the middle of nowhere, and the father starts
Here's Johnny!
Well, I can't say anything else, but basically it deals with alcoholism and with family matters, I would say. I don't know. It's really interesting so far, but I don't know why I'm in a slump right now. Another book that I started last month but that I didn't finish is I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. I'm actually just like 1 chapter in this book. I'm like 30 pages in, and what I've read so far is really interesting. This book is basically a compilation of short stories exploring the 3 laws of robotics. And if you don't know what the 3 laws of robotics are, they are basically...
Law number 1. A robot may not injure a human being or, through an action, allow a human being to come to harm. Law number 2. A robot must obey orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Law number 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws.
And the 3rd book that I hadn't finished last month, but that I would like to finish this one, is From a Certain Point of View. This book is another short story book, and it's a Star Wars book, as you can see, and it's basically a book that was released for the 40th anniversary of the first film, Star Wars. And it's basically a retelling of the original film, but through the eyes of the secondary characters, and not even secondary, like really not important characters in that film. But it's really cool. It's got 40 stories, and what I've read so far is really interesting because it gives a whole new perspective to the original film. The next book that I would like to read this month is one from my wrapped up books TBR. So if you don't know anything about this project, it's a thing that came up actually not very long ago, and it's basically that I decided that as I had a lot of books that I hadn't read and that I was probably not going to pick up, I decided to wrap them up in wrapping paper. No, not in wrapping paper. I actually decided to reuse some magazines that we were going to use, and I wrapped them up in those. And each month in each TBR, I'm going to pick up a paper from this little pumpkin, And as you can see, I got inside one paper per book, and I need to pick one each month. See the number that is there, pick the book that has that number and open it live. So not live, but you get me. So as you can see, this was one example, and I actually went crazy and wrapped 42 books. So yeah, let's see what book I'm going to read this month. So let's pick one. This one. I'm going to read number 30. Okay, I don't know which book it could be. I have no idea. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, let's see. Ooh, interesting. I think I know which one it is. I don't mind reading this book this month. It's Pobres Gentes in Spanish. I'm not sure what it is in English, but it's a book by
Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoevsky.
I didn't know much about this book. I think this is a book. I'm not sure if it's fiction or not fiction, but it's like representing the poverty of Russia in the times of the author, I guess. I have basically no idea about any of the books I've wrapped. That's the reason most of them are wrapped. So I'm going to read this book this month. Another 3 books I would like to read this month are these 3. So I've decided I want to read Lord of the Rings, which I have never, not Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, because I'm not reading the whole 3 this month. I've actually never read this trilogy. It will be my first time, and I'm really interested. I've seen the movies, but I don't remember much about them. Okay. Another of the books I showed you is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. This is a play by Tennessee Williams, and I've seen the film also. I've seen the adaptation. It's from the 60s or 70s, I would say. It's not actually really a plot-driven story. It's more a character study of like the family that this is about. I had no idea actually. I want to know how to describe it. And the last book that I want to read from that bunch,
a number of things of the same kind,
is Casino Royale. This is the first James Bond book, and actually I'm not sure why I've lately been attracted to reading this book, but I don't know, I just felt like it and seems fun. And last but not least, Thaida, which is my best friend, by the way. If you don't know her, I'll link her channel and our main channel over there. But we decided to do a Christmas readathon, but this time without like any pressures or anything, because we decided to do a Christmas readathon last year and it didn't go well at all. Thaida is still in her bed. There is Thaida breathing as always. Are you going to do the update or not?
What update? There's nothing to update.
Hey, wait. But we decided to do a new readathon and try to sleep more this time too. So what I picked for this readathon is basically rereads. It's just books that I felt like reading, and if I don't read any of them, it's okay. But I want to reread Heartstopper Volume 1 and 2. I read them like last month, but I want to reread them again already. I just love them so much. It's just like a graphic novel about these 2 guys that are in an English private school, I think it is. And one of them is openly gay and the other one is bisexual, even if he has not realized it yet. And it's so fucking cute and I need more of this, but the next volume doesn't come out until like March 2020, I would say. The next book I would like to read in the readathon is Perks of Being a Wallflower. This is actually my favorite book and I've read it like 3 times, I think. But I would like to reread it because like it's my favorite book. I could read it 1,000 times and not get tired of it. Obviously, a book that cannot be missing in a Christmas readathon is one of the Harry Potter books. I decided to reread the first one again, even if I have read it like 10 times. But one of my purposes for this year is to read the whole Harry Potter series, because I've tried to reread them so many times, but I always stop at number 4. So I want to start rereading them this month and get through them for like the end of the year as late. Another book that I think is perfect for Christmas time is A Christmas Carol and Other Christmas Writings by Charles Dickens. And I think this is an obvious book because it is the most, I would say it's the most famous Christmas Day or Christmas book. And I haven't read it yet, but I wanted to get to it this year. I'm not sure if I'll read all the other stories in the read, I think, because it's actually pretty long. A Christmas Carol is just like 100 pages maybe. Another Christmas classic for me is A War of Gifts. This is not the second installment in the Ender series, but this book takes place during Ender's Game, and it's just a Christmas story about one of the children in the battle station and what Christmas means for everyone in the battle station when they're away from home. I read this book 2 years ago and I was very surprised by it, and I would like to reread it again. Also, it's really short, so I just probably get through this one very easily. And that would be the end of this video because I've already talked about all the books I'm going to read this month. I'm probably not going to read all the books I have planned to, but because there's like, how many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books, 12 books.
I want to read 12 books this month. Probably not going to do it, but I'll keep updating you in my reading blogs while what I read. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe, and follow me on my social media, which will be linked down below, on my main channel, which will be linked over there and over here probably, and follow also my best friend's channel, Zizi. She's a great YouTuber and she has another channel called Set Talks. So I guess see you on the next one. Bye.